Shalom, this is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Camp. Looking just from Florida. First and foremost, I like all praise, honor, and glory to the Father and the Son, and in proper true Hebrew tongue. Call without law, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, Habakak, for that's my mouth. Also, double honors to the elders, Apostle GMS, and double honors to my as well. Yahawah Bahasham, peace, blessing, 1/3, insight, seasonal for elect. It's gonna be a quick little, I'll say, lesson. I was trying to get a video on it, but the Jake Muslim dude talking about Esau in his arsenal. Him it being a quick little lesson, just going into how their weapons can look normal, can look natural. So they got robots and like robot flies and robot dragonflies and stuff. So that's just how Esau works, man. They have that, they have that technology. They got they got crafty counsel too, and the people they be taking out is crazy. Just cause the Esau just be they run them up. They're very much criminals. They're the king of the heathens. Cause the stuff they do is just it's foolish at the same time, and it's wicked, and they good at that, and but that same type of the sword spirit. They live by the sword. That same spirit is put on our people as well, thinking that they're more powerful than any man with just guns. Jay just had, and that's what Jay has. Jay has guns, but you gonna only hold one or two. Esau got stuff that doesn't require. It's like it doesn't require you to hold them. You got a whole bunch of different wiki stuff to deal with. And like I said, just going to the video, I don't know where it's at. I just saw it earlier today, but it is simple like that. Esau has a lot of weapons. Jake has some, and he thinks he's mighty, but that's not how it works. Jake thinks just because he can fight real good, because he has some firearms that he isn't nearly invincible, but that's not his world works. This world works. This evil world works by destruction. So someone's gonna be destroyed, and it's not gonna be Esau through his own blessing. It's not gonna be Esau through Jake through his own blessing. It's gonna be because of the other nations. Hitting them with the same thing that he was able to create in around the 1940s, being splitting the atom and nuclear destruction. ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. All right, so it's just second Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. This is for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahawah to pulling down the strongholds like you. Nonetheless, that's how we operate. If you believe in the name Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, just know that we do not operate through any physical means. The most physical thing you can do is pray, and eat, and do lessons, go on the highways and byways if you're a man. Do lessons if you're a man, righteously with the correct fruits. That's what you're gonna do. But anything else, you doing anything other, you're not gonna do. Everything you're doing for the Lord. That's the best weapon. That's the most powerful weapon in the universe right now, because you can't stop it. You literally cannot stop it. Even through you worst case scenario, and Lord forbid, someone passes, but someone hear about the truth, they can get that truth and they can carry that on and still tell two more afterwards. So the Lord can work like that and do stuff like that. But that is the message for everyone to get this message. We have to trying to get out of this place, man. This place is wicked. Esau is desperately wicked, and have our people desperately wicked as well. This is Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17. It says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. You know what was Jacob bless? The nation gonna bow down. Anyone that curses Jacob is gonna be cursed. Anyone that loving Jacob is gonna be loved. So you have 2/3 of the people that that ultimately hate themselves though. But that's a curse. That's one of the curses. Being evil towards your own brother. Our woman being evil towards us. Not being in the household, not allowing us to be in the household, and Jake hating their own selves. You know, um, the weapons that are formed against us. Um, we basically won't we're not proper. These guns, whatever, nuclear missiles. That's gonna be the biggest weapon they got in the arsenal. And people say, I don't know if you ever talk to people talk to their family. You talk about the missiles. What you gonna do? I hope. People talk about moving out the country to avoid that because they feel like they finna get hit by the missiles. Yeah, you is, but you cannot avoid it, man. You want to stay in. I'm trying to stay in the fire because I want this place to happen. And the more I'm here, the more I want it to happen even more because this what has to happen. This place is being destroyed, and us getting salvation. Yahweh is I'm part of that number, that number. So weapons and that weapon that the Lord turned against Esau, this place Babylon, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. That's for him, nobody else. I mean, well, that's for him, to those other people and heathens. You know. This is Proverbs chapter 18:10 says, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower; the righteous runneth into it and is safe." So, man, just once again, it goes to the name of the Lord, man. It's a strong tower. Nothing can prosper. Nothing can get through that. Nothing can get through the name of the Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Anyone that's crap unaware, anyone that's secretly a thief or a murderer, anyone that is malicious is not going to be able to actually call that name righteously and correctly, because it's ultimately going to be revealed. And this is the time of revelations. We're in the beginning of Jacob's trouble, the beginning of World War III, the midst of World War III, and everything's being revealed. And we're gonna keep seeing more and more. This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. It says, For the word of Yahawah is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is discerner of thoughts and intents to the heart. So come, man. Ultimately, this is the most powerful thing in the universe. The truth. This is what we were using to get out of this place. Just like blowing the horn around the walls of Jericho. We got to keep doing what we're doing so the Lord can fulfill His promise. And it can bring down this place, America, can break down every place on earth. Even when people do not believe, that don't mean it's not gonna happen. Because a lot of people that do not believe, it's gonna be 2/3 that don't believe. And only 1/3 remnant that does believe. And of course, 144,000 elect men that do believe, and rightly did what the Lord had asked them to do. Yahweh is part of that number. But nonetheless, that's the most powerful thing. And these weapons are nowhere near powerful. They are in the physical sense, but at the same time, all them guns, every fortress, bunker, shallow, what's it called, silo that Esau has or the other heathens have, they're ultimately gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction and nuclear fallout. And if they still there, the angels gonna get them or the elect, So there's no way out for them, but it is definitely a way out for us, and it's through Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, but nonetheless, that was a lesson right there. Yahweh Zah, that was an edifying little lesson. With that, I just want to say Shalom.